Have you ever set your alarm for 5 o'clock a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up hours later feeling disappointed in yourself? You tell yourself you are not a morning person. You tell yourself you need sleep, and slowly, quietly, you accept that maybe this is just who you are. But what if the first hour of the day isn't about discipline at all? What if it's about direction? This is the story of a man who felt stuck for years, until one quiet morning changed the way he saw time itself. Thomas was 32 and lived alone in a small industrial town where factories never really slept. He worked nights as a security guard at a warehouse. Every evening he arrived at the gate under artificial lights. Every morning he walked home while the town was just beginning to breathe. His apartment was simple to the point of emptiness. A mattress on the floor, a fan that barely worked, a single bulb that flickered. But the hardest part wasn't what he lacked. It was the feeling that his life was moving in reverse. As he walked home at dawn, he passed windows glowing with early morning routines, families at breakfast, men dressing for office jobs, children tying their shoes, and Thomas would think, everyone is moving forward, and I am going to sleep. He wasn't lazy. He worked every night without complaint, but effort alone wasn't changing anything. He felt like he was running on a treadmill, exhausted, yet staying in the same place. The thought came back again and again, soft but persistent. There has to be another way. One early morning, just after finishing his shift, Thomas received a call that stopped him cold. His mother had collapsed. By the time he reached the small rural clinic, the sky was still dark. She was weak but awake. When she held his hand, her voice was gentle and tired. She spoke of her life, of years of work that never seemed to lead anywhere. Then she looked at him and said, "Please don't waste your life like I did. Find a way." Later, Thomas stepped outside the clinic. It was just before sunrise. The village was silent, except for a few farmers already walking toward their fields. Birds were beginning to stir. The air felt clean, untouched. Standing there, something shifted. He realized the world was different before the sun fully rose. Quieter, slower, open. On the bus back to town, Thomas noticed an older man sitting across from him, calm and well-dressed, reading a book. Thomas recognized him as Mr. Chen, a local business owner. What surprised him wasn't the man, it was the hour. Thomas finally asked why he was up so early. Mr. Chen smiled and said, "Because this is when my life actually belongs to me." He explained that the early morning hours were like untouched land. While most people were asleep, those hours could be used to build something quietly, without noise or pressure. He compared it to laying a foundation before anyone else arrived at the construction site. "Most people try to decorate a house that has no foundation," Mr. Chen said. "Then they wonder why it keeps collapsing." That metaphor stayed with Thomas. His life felt exactly like that. Constant survival, no structure underneath. Thomas decided to change one thing, just one. He rearranged his sleep so he could be awake early, even after working nights. It wasn't easy. The first days felt heavy and slow. His body resisted. His mind looked for excuses. But every morning before sunrise, he sat at a small table and learned. Slowly, patiently. He walked in the quiet streets. He watched the sky change colors, and something unexpected happened. Those hours stopped feeling like effort. They started feeling like ownership. It was as if time itself had softened. He wasn't chasing life anymore. He was meeting it before it ran away. Weeks passed, then months. The changes were not dramatic, but they were steady. Thomas felt clearer, stronger, more present. Eventually, opportunities appeared, not because of luck, but because he was finally prepared when they did. The early mornings became sacred, not because they were magical, but because they were intentional. The truth Thomas discovered was simple. Your life doesn't change all at once. It changes in quiet, unnoticed hours, especially the ones most people sleep through. The early morning is not about waking up early to impress anyone. It's about choosing a direction before the world tells you where to go. And maybe that's the real secret. Not 5 o'clock a.m. itself, but the decision to meet your life before it gets loud.